welcome back to the Here I Go channel and this next episode, episode number 11, where I'm on an ongoing mission here to go through my massive childhood G.I. Joe collection that I recently rescued from my parents' basement. Thanks again to all of you who are following along as I unbag these nostalgic figures one bag at a time, or in some cases a couple bags at a time. For those of you who are following along, the last episode, episode number 10, was a big sort of heaping bag of random G.I. Joe good guys that kind of had a bit of a theme of camouflage, or at least, you know, that's the best theme I could think of when I was going through it. So here's a couple examples of some of the collection that we opened up the last time there. So a lot of good figures there, a lot of newer ones, I would say kind of late 80s, early 90s. So most of them in really good condition, which is cool. Wanted to get through that last big bag. And for this episode, I am quite excited. I've kind of been holding off on this one. It's one of my personal favorites, Tiger Force. So this episode is going to be the Tiger Force episode. So excited to go through these and see what we've got here. And then that only leaves 2 bags after this. And as I mentioned in a previous video, we've got 2 bags of vehicle drivers here. So I've decided to keep those towards the end so that I can kind of transition to, I guess, the next part of my video series, which will be coming in due time. Which is the vehicles in my collection. So I thought that'd be a good way to end off this this series, would be to kind of give you a little bit of a sneak preview of what vehicles I have stored away still, unfortunately, in the parents' basement, a couple of provinces away. So that will take a little bit of time to get those back to the point where I can start going through them and showing them off a little bit. But as for now, we're going to go through Tiger Force. So join me as we go along. Here I go. All right, so if you can believe it, we've gone through just over 100. I think it's about 108 figures so far, not including these remaining 3 bags, which is quite surprising. I do have, it's really funny, I do have like an old digital tape of when I was 10 years old from 1990, talking about how many G.I. Joe figures I had, and at the time I said I was going for 130. So I'm not sure if we're going to get there exactly to that number, but it's going to be close between this and these other 2 bags. If we're at 108 right now, there's a good chance that we're going to be right up there. So that kind of, the accounting figures to be pretty close to what I said on this tape way back in 1990. So that's kind of exciting. So I'm going to go through, there's a couple random things in here that obviously don't go. I think what happened at one point is I put all of the animals in this bag for some odd reason. So we've got a crocodile here. For I think it's Croc Master is the guy's name, and then I see the dog here for Law. I think his name's Order. I don't know if I have the actual Order or Law character that one came with, so I must have got him somewhere else. So I'm gonna open this bag here. So Tiger Force. Probably the reason I kept it for the end here was, you know, I really liked Tiger Force. A couple of the reasons, like 1988 when these came out, was probably the pinnacle for collecting G.I. Joes for me personally. I know different years for different people, but for me personally, 88 seems to be the year where I got the majority of my G.I. Joes, and I got really into the collecting side of things. So not just playing, but, you know, trying to collect them all. I think I've got, I did a little bit of accounting for which characters came out in which years. And I think I've got 17 out of the 17 carded figures from 1988. However, there's a couple MIA, Muskrat, and I think my Storm Shadow are the only 2 of the carded figures that I don't seem to have been able to find. But you know, that, and I think I had 4 vehicles with drivers, 8 vehicles total from that year, 6 out of the 10 Tiger Force characters. So it was, yeah, it was a good year, I guess, in 1988, and a combination of Christmas presents, birthday presents, and my own money, allowance money probably went into that. So, like I said, we've got a bunch of, I think we got 6 Tiger Force characters here. We're going to kind of go through. There are a couple of pieces from, I think it was the Tiger Rat, had these little damage panels that you could swap out for ones without the holes in them. I think those just came loose, so I threw them into this bag here so that they would all be kind of together. I'll just set these guys aside because they're not really part of the collection there. The one thing about Tiger Force that I really liked, this guy, I think his name is Lifeline. Unfortunately, I just noticed this. He's got a broken crotch there. Not a lot of the ones that I've opened so far have this. So I think this is only like the 3rd one out of 108 or 9 that have this now. So unfortunately, I don't know if that happened in the bag or beforehand. I'm not 100% sure. But we've got Lifeline. The thing I loved about Tiger Force, it was kind of a weird color scheme, but right around 87, 88, 89 is when they started kind of using the same molds and just kind of doing different color variations of characters that I was, you know, when I was too young to collect. You know, we've got Duke here, we've got Tripwire, I think Dusty, and then Roadblock. Like, I was kind of too young to be collecting back in 84, 85. I would have been, you know, 5 years old at the time. So these, I think, were the exact same. So it was an opportunity to kind of catch up with some of these characters and add them to my collection. It's just kind of a cool sort of series. I think the year before they had done, if my memory serves me correctly, they did like Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, and then the next year they did Tiger Force, and then this was also the year of Night Force too. And I don't have any Night Force, so I don't know if that was just something I just wasn't interested in at the time, or just wasn't available in the part of the world that I was living in. So so yeah, that was the other thing, is, you know, I was able to kind of get some of these characters that I never had, especially Duke. I remember really wanting a Duke pretty bad. So we've got Lifeline here. He's obviously the paramedic, the original one, all red. I believe that is his medic's case, which opened up. I'm always sort of hesitant to pop these up open after 25 years. I don't want to break anything, but we'll give it a try here. I'll open it up, and we've got maybe some medical supplies there, so that's kind of cool. Or is this, pretty sure this is Lifelines that it goes with. It's not Tripwires, but I've got Lifeline here. I'll kind of go through and see if I can match anything else up with them. I'll put him off to the side. Let's do Tripwire next here. This is the landmine soldier. I know there's multiple versions of him. Yeah, he's in really good condition. Although, I don't know how easy it is to see. I might have to do some close-ups at some point. You know, the arm joints seem to be an issue for a lot of the G.I. Joe characters over the years. No matter how little or much you played with, it just seems like those happen with these characters. So he had this tiny little backpack that have the actual landmines in them, which is kind of cool. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and they just kind of pop in there and snap in there like that. And then he's got his metal detector as well that goes with it. And then this little wire goes into that little slot there. So those two go together with him. Not sure what else he may have come with. I know who that goes to. I'm pretty sure I know who that goes to. All right, let's do, I'm gonna go process of elimination here. So we've got Roadblock. I do have an older Roadblock from one of my other episodes. I think I opened him with the Slaughter's Marauders pack. So this is the Tiger Force variation of him, and I'm pretty sure he came with this big huge weapon there. We've got the tripod. Let's see how, yeah, it looks like that's still in good condition, so it goes like that. There's how many backpacks? We got 1, 2, 3, so I don't know. Pretty sure that goes with Duke. Maybe that one here. We'll double check on that, and then we'll kind of come back. So once again, if you want to see these with all of their accessories, feel free to fast forward to the next video here. We've got Dusty, who was kind of a cool character with his sort of desert hat there, keep the sun off of his neck. As you can see here, that O-ring is gone, so we'll have to do some work with him. Joints look good. Another cool character. He had, let's see here, I'm gonna say that goes with him. This reminds me of his as well, so I'm gonna put that with him for now. I'm pretty sure that was Duke's here, Duke's backpack. I have a bazooka there. I know that there was a Tiger Force character, I think his name was Bazooka, so I'm not sure if I had him at one point or why I would leave that in there, but maybe I'm getting something mixed up. We've got that one. Not sure who that one would have gone with necessarily. So we'll just put that off to the side for now. We've got Duke, and then we have this character here who came with the Tunnel Rat, or no, Tiger Rat, I think it's called, which is a really cool vehicle. Some pieces there of that. So, yeah, this guy's name is, where is he? In here. Huh, not sure why I don't have him. So I'll have to look up his name, but yeah, he came with that really cool vehicle. I'll maybe see if I can throw a picture of the vehicle on the video when I'm done here, so hopefully you're seeing that now. But he was really cool. I believe this goes with him. So this is his helmet with the radio, so always cool to have a pilot as part of the team there. I loved some of those bigger aircraft, sort of the more traditional ones. So the Tiger Rat, oh, Sky Striker, there we go. I should know that. That's the other thing about this group. For some reason, I've kept a couple of the file cards. I'm hoping I can find more of them in with the vehicles, but I've got a file card for Sky Striker here and for Duke as well. So it'd be nice to match those up for the two of them. And then once again, I'm not sure what he came with. We've got this mask, which I have to double check. This almost looks like it would go with, I think his name was Mutt, or him. So I'll have to see if that's the right one that I got when I was putting them all together. So all in all, this is the Tiger Force group there. One of my personal favorites. Really loved them. Like the whole 1988 lineup was pretty amazing. You know, you had everything from, you know, the new Storm Shadow, or the good guy version of Storm Shadow coming that year, Sergeant Slaughter and his Warthog, which I also got, Destro with the gold face, Night Force, Shockwave, Hit and Run, Spearhead, Blizzard, like all such really good characters. So that was a really good year in terms of getting me excited for you know, for collecting more than kind of playing with. And then got a number of vehicles with the Tiger Force group as well. There was obviously the Tiger Rat, which I mentioned. but I also had the Tiger Paw, which was kind of like a little ATV style. I don't know, I guess it was just an ATV is the best way to put it. And then I also had the Tiger Shark, which was another variation, like each one of those, the Tiger Paw, the Tiger Shark, which is a boat that, you know, could go and look like more like a hydrofoil, I guess, in terms of the look and feel. And then the Tiger Rat, and they were all reproductions, right? So Hasbro marketing genius there in terms of taking existing molds and vehicles and characters, just repainting them and releasing them with this whole kind of new line was kind of something that they started to do. Even the Night Force was sort of the same thing. They were doing a lot of that. So pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can match up these a little bit better, and then we'll kind of have a look at the whole Tiger Force crew with all of their gear next. Okay, so we're back now. I'm gonna give you a little update and close up on some of these figures, what we've been able to kind of match them up with in the miscellaneous bags that we've got for backpacks and gear. So first up, we've got Lifeline. As I mentioned, an issue with the pelvis there. He also came with a kind of like an oxygen mask, and then a handgun. And I've got a bunch of handguns, but it doesn't look like I've got one that kind of matches up with the black. So I might have to see if that's with somebody else and do a little swap-a-roo. But yeah, we're pretty good with him there, other than the broken crotch there, unfortunately. We've got Tripwire, who's in awesome shape. Got his backpack, his mine, and his metal detector, so he's all good to go and complete. And we've got Roadblock here with his with his gear. Cool thing about him, I was able to find this backpack. It's got like this little knob on it. Some of these things I don't even remember being able to recall, but you could take the tripod off, or take the weapon off the tripod, and then clip the tripod itself onto there, so he could just kind of carry his weapon and then have the tripod part of his backpack. So I thought that was also pretty cool. And of course, he's rocking the, you know, super non-camouflaged helmet there. We've got Dusty, who I do actually have his weapon here somewhere. There it is. Sorry, I was looking for, there was a tripod that just goes kind of on the end of the gun there. You can see the hole there. I've got a couple small little tripods, but it's not quite the right size, but I was able to find his backpack, so happy about that. And then of course we've got Duke with his helmet, backpack, binoculars, kind of a funny sort of, I always thought it was a funny binocular when I got him, with just the shape of it, right? They weren't traditional binoculars, so just a little quirky thing that I always remember as a kid. And then of course the classic sort of original era G.I. Joe kind of weapons, where they had this little stock on the back that would kind of wrap around the figure's arms, making them stay in place a little bit better. So was able to track that one down in my bag of accessories. And of course we've got Duke's file card there, so pretty stoked about that one. I think I kept, like, some of the file cards that I did keep look like they were of people of high rank, so I think that's maybe why we've got Duke there. Loved Duke. I loved anyone who kind of had a high rank. I always thought that they were a little bit more important than all the other ones. And then we've got Sky Striker here. He did come with a visor, so I don't have that one, but I do have the, I guess it's the mic sort of system that goes on his helmet there as well. And then I've got his card there, and obviously we've got the Tiger Rat vehicle in storage that he goes with. So Yeah, going through, I know I had mentioned we've got sort of the bazooka there, the backpack, and I did find a helmet for bazooka. So once again, another MIA figure from my collection. And then these items here obviously don't go with anybody. We've got these two items, which I think went with an accessory pack, kind of a brown version accessory pack. So I'll have to add those to all the other ones. And I think I'm right. I think this goes with Mutt. So I'll have to try and reunite them there. So there you have it. We've got Tiger Force, the second last episode in the video series of figures. I think we're up to about, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 figures added to 108. So we're at like 114. So we're getting closer to that 130. Excited to do the last video. I'll make the last video a little bit more interactive with images while I go through the vehicle drivers, images of the vehicles, just so you can get that that perspective as well. But yeah, once again, I really appreciate everyone who's joining in this journey as I go along and unbag these cool vintage G.I. Joes. And as always, feel free to leave comments down below. Click the like button, subscribe, and join me for the last unbagging of figures. All right, until then, we'll see you later. Here I go.